review, we are focusing on the She-Hawk palette from Urban Decay. I'm going to show you guys how I got this look using the eyeshadow palette. I will show you swatches of all 13 of the shades, close-ups, all of that goodness. So let's go ahead and get started. We have a brand new eyeshadow palette from Urban Decay. This is a new release from them that is Marvel themed. So we have the She-Hawk eyeshadow palette. This features 13 different shades and a very fun packaging on this one. It has like a holographic look to it. It's very green focused, obviously for the She-Hawk theme. I know that is a new show that was just released. I believe it's on Disney Plus. I personally have not seen it and I don't really know much about it. I think it used to be like a comic book or something from what I've seen. But the inside of this palette actually is really cool. It has some fun holographic look to the top with the muscles there, and then it actually features 13 different colors, which I think is a pretty large palette for Urban Decay, especially for a collab palette. I think when you think like Hawk, we definitely think green, but there's really only 2 greens in this eyeshadow palette. So I kind of find that interesting, but I do feel like there is a lot of different colors in here. So if you aren't necessarily someone who loves greens, I feel like you could still really like this palette. There's a purple, there's a blue, we have some pinks. There are definitely quite a few different transition shades, so you can deepen up the look in here. I think it's pretty cool. Only con is I wish it had a mirror because I just love mirrors in my palettes, but I mean, it looks pretty nice. I like that they have the shadow names on here and everything. The packaging, it feels really nice on this one. I want to now go ahead and show you swatches of all 13 of the colors. Here are the swatches of all of these shades. They actually swatched really nicely. Urban Decay for me can be a little bit hit or miss with their eyeshadows, but swatches on everything look really great. The shimmers look very pigmented. All of the mattes look nice and smooth. The palette does retail for $45 and it is available now on Urban Decay's website, so I will link it down below if you want to go ahead and check it out. I am now going to go ahead and get started with this eye look, and you guys can see how the shadows perform on the eyes. To start the eye look out, we're going to go into the shade Courtroom Realness first. I'm going to be using a lot of my Adele 10 brushes. We're just going to start by bringing the shade into our crease and starting to diffuse it a little bit. For the next color, I'm going to go in with Brains and Brawn, and I'm just going to bring this a little bit lower here on my lid and really blend it into that first color. These 2 mattes so far are blending nicely. I'm not having any issues. Now I'm going to go into the shade Take a Stand, and I'm going to deepen up this outer corner here with that brown shade. Really just focusing it down low and then slowly bringing it in. That shade is really rich in pigment and it's blending out nicely for a brown. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit of concealer and I'm actually going to cut my crease. This isn't something I do too often, but I figured it'd be kind of fun to do for today's eye look. This shade here, No Further Questions, it's kind of like a green gold. We're going to go in with that. I'm just going to grab it on this ColourPop brush and apply it right over top of that concealer. Okay, that's actually pretty shimmery. I never know with the Urban Decay palettes because sometimes their shimmers can be really pigmented and really foiled like this one, or they can have like more of that softer look to them. This one actually looks really, really nice. Okay, I'm impressed with that. I never know, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of like their softer formula just because I do like shimmer that has a little more pop to it. I am going to take a little bit of this shade Thunder Cap and use a tiny bit of this on this outer edge right here just to kind of marry the brown with the green. Plus I want to try out another one of the colors. It kind of has like a little bit of a shift to it. It's not going to show up too much, I think, because we have that brown, but just a little bit right in there. And then we have to add a little bit of the green in the middle. This is called Hawk Out. And let's just add a little bit of that right on top of this first green. I guess just to add a little more green in there. So it's definitely adding a little bit more green in there so you can tell between this eye and this eye. I like them both, but of course I love greens, so I'm not mad at the shadow either. It's pretty pigmented actually. And then for the inner corner highlight, I'm going to go into the shade called Gamma Glow and use that to just give us a little pop here on the inner corner. That also seems very pigmented. Okay, I feel like the shimmers are really good in this palette based upon initial use. And then for lower lash line, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I'm just going to go into the Brains' Brawn shade and just sweep that underneath. I'm not going to do anything too crazy because I feel like we have a lot going on with our lid, so I want to leave it kind of basic down there. So I got all these new graphic liners from ColourPop, and I thought we'd try one out. I'm kind of thinking a white one would be really pretty with this, so hoping I'm not going to ruin this eye look, because that's not something I do super often, but let's go ahead and try this out. So these are called the Graphic X ink liners. Again, they are from ColourPop. I will link them down below. I do have a coupon code with ColourPop as well. It's just Make It My Life 5. We'll get you $5 off your order. So let's try this out. Hopefully, like I said, I don't ruin this look. So I'm actually just going to start on the inner corner because I feel like that'll be easier for me. And apply that to the lid. I feel like it's kind of hard when you do like winged things over top of eyeshadow, but I kind of thought this formula would be fine for that, considering it's meant to be like a graphics liner. I feel like a lot of times you put that on over top of shadows. I mean, it's definitely white. I just don't know if I thought it was going to be like a little more white or what, but I'm going to let that dry down. And then I think I'll apply some lashes as well. I think I'm going to do white on my lash line as well, since we have the white liner. This is the cream gel liner from the High School Musical set from ColourPop. For lashes, I'm actually just going to do a half lash. These are from Huda Beauty, and I did just cut them down, so I figured this will give us just a little bit of volume here on the end. And then for mascara, I just used the Balm Mad Lash, which is one of my favorite mascaras. Now that the white liner has dried down, I definitely think it's a little bit more opaque. I feel like the half lash was a perfect choice because then you can still see the liner there, but I'm really feeling this eye look. I think it looks so pretty. I really, really like the contrast of all the colors. Everything blended out really nicely, so I'm pretty impressed with that. Let me pop a lip on really quick and then we'll just get into my final thoughts. I was fully expecting not to love this one, but I do think my eye look turned out really pretty. I thought the shimmers in here were very nice. The mattes blended very smoothly. If this is a color story you think you'll like, I think you'll enjoy this palette. You do get a lot of shades in here as well compared to most of your Urban Decay palettes. The quality seems really nice in here, so I think that this actually could be a palette that you get a lot of use out of if you like this color story. And I do feel like it does have a lot of different colors in here. You've got the blue, the purple. I just feel like you could create a lot of different looks with this, and I'm very excited to keep diving into it and keep feeling out the formula. But so far, quality-wise, with the shadows that I did use, it feels pretty nice. So I'm excited to see the rest of the colors on the eyes. I just wish it had a mirror. I feel like that's my only con with this, but it's really a nice palette. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. Hopefully you found it helpful. Let me know down below what you think of this eye look. Are you planning to grab this palette from Urban Decay? I'd love to know from you, and thank you as always for watching. I'll see you very soon with a brand new video. Bye, friends.